8 years of losses, 4 CEOs in 3 years, a brand that once dressed the World Tour, now dressing Team USA. So what happened to Rapha? Is this the comeback or the come down? The apple of cycling, as one former pro puts it, finds itself on a climb far steeper than any alpine stage. Revenue down 13%, an 8th straight year of losses, and a CEO promising profitability by 2027. So what happened to one of the most iconic cycling brands in the world? And can Rapha still lead the peloton, or has it been dropped? It started back in London in 2004. Simon Mottram, a branding expert and lifelong rider, founded Rapha with one goal: to make cycling aspirational. Where others saw lycra and logos, he saw identity. For over a decade, the brand grew 50% year on year. Clubhouses opened in London, New York and Tokyo, as well as many other cities around the world. The £300 jersey became a symbol of belonging. You didn't just wear Rapha, you earned it. And when the pandemic hit, cycling exploded. Everyone wanted a bike and everyone wanted Rapha. And for a moment, it looked unstoppable. But what goes up? By 2024, the bike boom was over. Stockpiles of unsold kit piled up. Discounts became the norm, and suddenly the same riders who once worshipped the armband were calling the designs boring. And the Rapha Cycling Club, once boasting over 22,000 members, dropped to around 15,000 members. And for many, the magic of Rapha had faded, and in chasing new audiences with hoodies, handbags and lifestyle drops, Rapha lost focus on what made it special. Meanwhile, newer players like Panama Studios, Cafe de Cyclist and MAP brought energy, attitude and edge that Rapha was lacking. And Rapha felt a little bit safe. It felt classic but predictable. And then came none other than Fran Millar, ex-Team Sky, ex-Bell staff and Rapha's 4th CEO in 3 years. She inherited a brand still reeling from pandemic excess and identity confusion. And her plan was to strip it back. It was to simplify, fewer products, better quality, and full price only. As she told the Financial Times, Rapha tried to do lots of things and wasn't focused on doing a few things brilliantly well. One of the greatest era has sadly ended. For 7 years, Rapha's partnership with EF Pro Cycling defined modern kit culture. The duck helmets, the Palace collabs, the Alt Tour with Lachlan Morton. They rewrote what pro cycling could look like. But 2025 sadly marks the end of that chapter, and Rapha is leaving the World Tour for now. To celebrate, they dropped one final celebration collection, crashed the party, changed the game back to blackout, a last nod to a partnership that blurred the line between sport and style. ES Jonathan Vaughters called it seismic, and he's right. No other team made race kit a cultural event like EF and Rapha did. But as partnerships fade, Rapha is already shifting gears. 2 weeks after confirming its World Tour exit, Rapha announced a new bold move: a 4-year partnership with USA Cycling, outfitting the country's Olympic, Paralympic and national team athletes from 2026 through to 2029. And it's more than a kit deal. It's a statement of intent, a shift from European road dominance towards Olympic ambition and grassroots growth in the US. Fran Millar calls it a shared dream for the future of the sport. And the USA Cycling CEO, Brendan Quirk, says Rapha could be a catalyst for a golden age of American cycling. You could say this deal aligns perfectly with Rapha's now roots in the US. They opened their first American clubhouse in San Francisco back in 2008, and the market now accounts for over 20% of global revenue. But the first question that I had when I first got the email only a few days ago: why Team USA and not Team GB? After all, Rapha was born in London, but the answer lies in where the power and the potential now sit. Since 2017, Rapha has been majority owned by RZC Investments, the private firm of Stuart and Tom Walton, grandsons of the Walmart's founder. Their home base, Bentonville, Arkansas, the epicenter of a fast-growing American cycling scene. The Waltons have been quietly building that for years. And add to that the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, a US market that already makes up more than 20% of Rapha's global revenue, and a national program hungry for transformation. And the logic becomes clear. Team GB already has Santini, it's established, predictable, and part of the system that Rapha once helped create. Team USA, though, it's a blank canvas, a chance to reimagine what elite cycling can look like, in a country still finding its rhythm. And for a brand trying to reinvent itself, it's less about flags and more about momentum. And It is really a big pivot from pink to red, white and blue, from racing tradition to national transformation. Rapha's story has always been about emotion. It's never just been about jerseys, it's about belonging. But after years of overextension, leadership turnover and fierce competition, it's fighting to rediscover that connection. And the upcoming 2026 collection promises a design overhaul. Fewer distractions, more depth. The Rapha Cycling Club remains the brand's beating heart. And the USA deal could mark the start of something new, a new era of relevance in the world of cycling. But the question still remains, can Rapha rediscover its soul in a world it helped create? Because there's one thing that every cyclist knows, and that's getting dropped is one thing, but climbing back on, that is where the real ride is. And this is the world of Rapha in 2025, a brand that built the modern cycling aesthetic. It sadly lost its edge, and now it fights to prove that it still deserves the jersey. If you enjoy these kind of videos and you want to learn a little bit more about the brands and the backstories behind them, then please don't forget to like and subscribe.